It's 3 a.m. The thumb scrolls, revealing a chart, a jagged crimson line plunging downwards. We feel it, don't we? That familiar hollow drop in the pit of the stomach. A number on a screen, an abstraction of our future, suddenly has the power to steal our breath, to hijack our peace in the dead of night. This single image, this private ritual of anxiety, holds a mirror to our entire financial lives. It is a moment of profound powerlessness. Have you ever stopped to ask why we grant it this power? Why have we consented to a life where our inner tranquility is tethered to the chaotic, impersonal whims of a global machine we cannot possibly influence? We perform this ritual of checking, of worrying, of reacting, as if it were a duty. But this is not diligence. It is a form of self-inflicted torment, born from a fundamental misunderstanding of where our true power lies. The humiliation of seeing a friend's triumphant post about a stock pick while our own portfolio bleeds. The quiet shame of feeling hopelessly behind. These are the symptoms of a game we were taught to play, but a game we were never meant to win. The cultural whisper, which has become a roar, sold us a story that success is about prediction, about being smarter than the crowd, about timing the untamable tide of the market. It's a seductive myth, promising control through superior knowledge or daring action. The hidden cost of believing this story is the relentless anxiety that follows. We become day traders of our own serenity, constantly reacting to headlines, to whispers, to the flashing red and green arrows that dictate our mood. We are told to control the outcome, a task as futile as commanding the winds. This is the great delusion of the modern investor. But what if there were another way? A path not of frantic reaction, but of deliberate, calm action. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus, a former slave who understood the true meaning of freedom, offered a principle so simple and yet so profound, it can dismantle this entire structure of anxiety. He taught that the key to a tranquil life lies in a single, crucial distinction, separating what is within our control from what is not. This idea is not a mere platitude. It is a razor-sharp tool for carving out a space of peace and building durable wealth amidst the chaos. Let us perform an honest audit, right now. Take out a mental piece of paper. On one side, list the financial factors you truly control. You will write your savings rate, the percentage of your income you choose to invest. You will write your spending habits, the small daily choices that compound over time. You will write your investment strategy, the rational, predetermined plan you create in a moment of calm. And you will write your emotional response to market events. The list is short, but it is potent. It is the domain of your power. Now, on the other side, list what you cannot control. The stock market's daily fluctuations, the next inflation report, the geopolitical events that send shockwaves through the economy, the opinions of financial pundits on television, the performance of your friend's speculative investment. This list is endless, chaotic, and terrifying. For years, we have exhausted our precious energy trying to manage this second list. The Stoic invitation is to let it go completely, to treat it with the same indifference we would the weather. We can prepare for rain, but we cannot stop the storm. With this clarity, we can begin to build our fortress. Willpower, as we all know, is a fickle and finite resource. Relying on it to save what's left at the end of the month is like building a dam with sand. The truly powerful act of control is to remove your flawed, emotional self from the equation. This is the automated fortress of savings. It is a system, a pre-commitment made in a moment of wisdom that protects you from future moments of weakness. Setting up an automatic transfer from your checking to your investment account the day you get paid is not a financial tactic. It is a philosophical statement. It declares, my future is too important to be left to my daily moods. Think of the peace this system grants. The month's most important financial decision is made for you, by you, before temptation or fatigue can intervene. Seneca advised that we should prepare for hardship by periodically living on the barest minimum, not to punish ourselves, but to harden the soul for what may come. Automation is the modern equivalent. It imposes a gentle, consistent discipline, building a reservoir of security that strengthens your spirit. You are no longer fighting a daily battle to save. You are simply allowing a wise system to work for you, in silence, in the background. Once our fortress is being built, brick by automated brick, where do we direct these resources? The world of investing screams for our attention, dangling the promise of the next big thing, the one stock that will change our lives. This is the siren song of ego. It tempts us to believe we can be the genius who outsmarts the collective wisdom of millions. The Stoic approach is one of profound humility and indifference. It is the wisdom to admit, I do not know where the lightning will strike. And so, instead of betting on a single tree, we choose to own the entire forest. This is the indifferent investor's portfolio. Through broad, diversified, low-cost index funds, we surrender the ego's need to be right. We are not trying to pick the winner. We are accepting the collective, average return of the entire market over decades. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself that all things are interwoven in a sacred bond. A diversified portfolio is the financial embodiment of this truth. It is a quiet admission that our success comes not from individual brilliance, but from participating in the broad sweep of human progress. The stress of a hot stock tip is replaced by the calm of owning a simple, robust system that requires no genius to operate. Our system is now built. The savings are automated. The portfolio is diversified and indifferent. But the greatest threat to this fortress will not come from the outside. It will not be a market crash or a recession. The greatest threat is, and always will be, our own mind. The constant stream of information, the endless cycle of financial news, is not designed to inform you. It is designed to provoke you, to trigger the primal emotions of fear and greed, because an emotional investor is a profitable one for the industry. We must therefore practice a radical act of self-preservation, the news fast. Epictetus taught that it is not events that disturb us, but our judgments about them. The market dropping 2% is an event. The thought, I am losing everything, is a judgment. By consciously starving ourselves of the daily noise, we sever the link between event and judgment. Delete the apps from your phone's home screen. Schedule a single 15-minute appointment with your portfolio once a month. This is not ignorance, it is strategic wisdom. It is reclaiming your mental energy from the chaos and dedicating it to what truly matters. Of course, it is easy to be a Stoic in a bull market. The true test of our philosophy comes when the crimson lines reappear on the screen, when the headlines scream of crisis. For this, we must prepare. Seneca urged the practice of premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. We do not do this to be morbid, but to inoculate ourselves against shock. A fire drill is not practiced in the hopes of a fire. It is practiced so that we do not freeze when the alarm sounds. A bear market is a financial fire drill. Take a moment. Visualize your portfolio dropping by 30%. Feel the knot in your stomach, the racing pulse. See yourself opening the app, and then visualize yourself taking a deep breath and doing absolutely nothing. Visualize yourself sticking to the plan you made when you were calm and rational. By rehearsing this scenario, you rob it of its power to terrorize you. You have felt it before. You have a plan, and you know that panic is not part of it. You have already decided that the only response is to continue your automated investments, buying more of the forest when it is on sale. While we prepare for future difficulties, we must also learn to inhabit the present with grace. The engine of consumer culture and financial anxiety is the perpetual feeling of lack, the constant comparison that poisons our contentment. We see a friend's vacation, a colleague's new car, and we feel a pang of inadequacy. This feeling is a lie. True wealth is not found in the expansion of our possessions, but in the contraction of our desires. It is a skill, and its primary tool is gratitude. Epictetus taught that wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Tonight, before you sleep, write down 3 things you are grateful for that have no price tag. A conversation, your health, the comfort of your bed. This is not a hollow exercise. It is a rewiring of your perception. It shifts your focus from the gap between what you have and what you want to the vast reservoir of what you already possess. A person who is truly grateful for their current circumstances is immune to the envy that drives so much foolish spending. They are, in a very real sense, already rich. To anchor this perspective, the Stoics employed a powerful mental tool, memento mori, the remembrance of death. This is not a depressing thought, but a clarifying one. You could leave this life right now. Let that fact determine what you do and say and think. Does the market's performance today matter in the grand scheme of your finite, precious time on this earth? Is spending your evenings in a state of anxiety over your portfolio an appropriate use of your limited consciousness? This perspective does not encourage recklessness. On the contrary, it encourages a profound sense of purpose. It shifts the goal from getting rich for its own sake to building a financial foundation that supports a life of meaning. Money ceases to be the objective and becomes what it was always meant to be, a tool. A tool for buying back your time, for supporting your loved ones, for pursuing work that matters, for being a good and useful member of your community. Your financial timeline is not infinite. It is the runway for the life you want to live. As we build this internal resilience, we must also acknowledge the power of our environment. The Stoic concept of oikiosis speaks of our natural affinity for others, our interconnectedness. Your financial habits are not formed in a vacuum. They are profoundly shaped by the conversations you have and the people you surround yourself with. If your circle is defined by consumerism, debt, and status anxiety, you will be swimming against a powerful current. Seneca's advice was simple. Associate with people who are likely to improve you. Seek out those who discuss ideas, not just possessions. Find a friend, a mentor, or an online community that values prudence, long-term thinking, and financial responsibility. Simply being in conversations where saving and investing for the future is normalized is a powerful force. It changes your perception of what is normal and desirable. You are not a lone warrior. You are part of a circle, and choosing that circle wisely is a crucial act of financial self-care. With a supportive circle, we can better refine our own judgment, especially in the crucial distinction between price and value. The price is a number, an arbitrary figure assigned by the market. The value is what something truly gives you: utility, joy, freedom, purpose. Our consumer culture relentlessly pushes us to focus on price and brand, the external markers of status. Stoicism demands that we look deeper, to the intrinsic nature of a thing. Before your next significant non-essential purchase, pause. Ask yourself, what is the true value of this item? Will it bring lasting fulfillment? Or is it a fleeting balm for some underlying anxiety? Will this money be more valuable if deployed in our automated fortress, working to purchase our future freedom? This same lens applies to investing. Are you buying an asset because of its rising price, hype, or because you understand its underlying durable value? This simple distinction, practiced consistently, prevents countless mistakes and channels our resources toward what truly enriches our lives. Inevitably, however, we will make mistakes. We will buy the overpriced item. We will invest in a foolish asset. We will neglect our system. The Stoic response to these failures is not shame or self-flagellation. It is to see the obstacle as the way. Marcus Aurelius taught that the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. A financial mistake is not a failure. It is tuition. It is a lesson you paid to learn. Think of your worst financial mistake. The shame may still sting. Now reframe it. What did it teach you about your own psychology? About speculation? About your relationship with risk? Write down the lesson. Forgive yourself for the error, acknowledging that you acted with the knowledge you had at the time. This act transforms a source of shame into a source of wisdom. You are now a more experienced, more prudent investor because of it. The loss has been converted into an asset. To further forge this resilience, we can practice what Seneca called voluntary hardship. We build strength not only by contemplating difficulty, but by occasionally touching it. This is the voluntary hardship test. For 1 week, choose to live on significantly less. No restaurants, no purchased coffees, no subscriptions, no casual spending. Cook simple meals. Walk instead of driving where you can. The purpose is twofold. First, you will be astonished at how much you save. But more importantly, you will prove to yourself that you can not only survive but thrive with less. You will recalibrate your sense of what is necessary. At the end of the week, as Seneca wrote, you will ask yourself, is this the condition that I so feared? You will find that it was not so terrible. This practice builds a deep confidence in your ability to weather real financial shocks and fills you with a renewed gratitude for your everyday comforts. And so, we arrive at the final purpose of this entire endeavor. The goal is not a number in an account. It is not a magical figure called financial independence. The ultimate aim of a Stoic financial life is eudaimonia, a flourishing life, a life of excellence, virtue, and purpose. Money is merely the soil, properly tilled and irrigated, in which such a life can grow. It is the tool that gives us the freedom to act with courage, justice, and wisdom. Your financial plan is no longer about accumulating wealth for its own sake. It is about funding your unique vision of a rich life. Perhaps that means having the security to leave a job that compromises your values. Perhaps it means being able to care for an aging parent without financial strain. Perhaps it is funding a creative project or supporting a cause you believe in. The numbers in your plan should be directly tied to these noble goals. This transforms finance from a source of stress into a source of strength and meaning. We have come full circle. We began in the dark, staring at a screen, feeling powerless. Now, we stand in the light. Financial tranquility was never about controlling the market's chaos. It was always and only about mastering the inner citadel of your own mind. By automating your systems, diversifying with indifference, fasting from the noise, and preparing your soul, you have seized the reins of what is truly yours. This is not a promise of specific returns. It is the guarantee of a richer prize, resilience, serenity, and a peace of mind that no market crash can ever take away. The real question is no longer, what will the market do tomorrow? The only question that matters now is this: what is the one thing you can control today, and how will you exercise that power to build a life of genuine value?